Hello all, it's all here, back with another video. Today we're going to be spotlighting Zaiross, the mighty dragon. We're going to go through the runes for his early game, his mid game and his late game. But first of all, let's just go over his attack. So his attack incinerates the enemy cards of the front line with a fixed chance and deals damage with a powerful breath. The enemy loses 1 mana per incinerated card, and the damage is increased by 30% if the attack lands a crit rate. So, been speaking to the Discord community and around fixed chance, and the way we've managed to get it is the fixed chance is around sort of like the 10 to 15% mark. We're not overly sure, but that's what we predict. And what this means is it's the activation of the incineration in Zaiross's case and Ganymede's case, and the activation of Perna's ability. If it is activated, then it's a matter of the accuracy versus the resistance per card of what happens. If it doesn't activate, then the attack just does damage. So I hope that's cleared up things for you there. Now moving on to early game. Now into early game, if you are one of the lucky ones to draw Zaiross as a card, then the first things you want to kind of be going for is Fatal as an early game, because this does give him his 15% attack, and as he is attacking monster and he attacks the front line, this just makes sense. If you do get any crit rate on the Greystones, if you decided to upgrade them a bit, then that's all good, because that all counts towards the extra damage increased if it lands a crit rate. Similarly, if you are lucky enough early game to get his Greenstone, which gives him an extra 15% crit rate, then you're definitely set for early game to use him in your main team. With that being said, let's move on to the mid game. Now swinging into mid game, then the runes I'll change from the Fatal is now to the Blade, because this gives him 20% extra crit chance, which this marries up with his attack. When it lands a critical, increases the damage by 30%. But on the substat side of things, you do want to make sure that you have a little bit more crit rate and some accuracy on there, because you want to try and burn as many mana cards as possible if the fixed chance falls in your favour. Also at this time you want to be making sure you get some purple stones in there, just making sure you plus them up a little bit but not too much. You want to save those valuable moon dusts into late game when you get your legendary stone picks. So also at this point you may now have drawn the purple stone. Now this, in my opinion, is better than the green, because it does give you the fire breath, 20% extra damage, plus you've already got the crit rate from the blade now, so it just makes sense to have the purple one if you've got it. Okay, let's move on to late game. Now into late game, where you've unlocked all of the runes. The one that I would go for would be the Violent rune. Now this gives him a 30% chance to get your card back after using him, and this is a good reason why, because he burns cards with a fixed chance, and he does damage across the entire front team. With that being said, with the Violent runes you definitely need to have some crit rate and accuracy, and if you can, get some attack on there, as this will all bolster his stats and help his attack. Making sure you will upgrade your purples to legendary, and then in my opinion trying to sort of max out the top path first, which gives him that extra 32% attack. So they're the main runes you want to go for. There is an argument to put Vampire because he attacks 4 people, but I think because he burns mana to the front cards, I think it's just better to have that ability from the Violent than it is from Vampire, but ultimately it's up to you. But Violent runes are the ones that I think you should go for, and it makes sense for this character. Now, if you're one of the lucky ones as well to get his legendary stone, this is by far the best stone for Zaiross. Not only does it drop the mana cost down by 1, it also increases the fixed chance up to 15%. Like I say, no one knows exactly what the fixed percent chance is, but that gives you an extra 15% on top. What we think is sort of between 12 and 15%. So that is definitely a better chance of activating his incinerating spell to burn the card at the front line. So if you do have his legendary stone, that is the one you want to go for. Okay, so bringing this to an end, you now know what the best runes are for Zaiross in the early, mid and late game. Feel free to leave a comment down below to see if you have any different ideas of runes to use, and any input on what secondary runes to put on him. That would be good. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. So I'm going through all 63 monsters in the game. I'd love your support, and I'd love for you to all be a part of that. Thank you very much.